moment your life is or your health is attacked, everything will take a backseat, no matter what it is, no matter how important relationship, stress, or job is. If those things are not happening, but you want to detox your body, it will backfire you. Let's talk about this sattvic food. When you want to get into sadhana, you want to get into kriya yoga, you want to make sure your diet is sattvic. But before that, before yoga, comes Ayurveda. Ayurveda wants to make sure you are healthy and wealthy. Then only you go for the sattvic diet. Before that, we need to address your all underlying issues. That's just Tamas, Sattva. They are cyclical. This is the aspect of Devi. Coming to Shiva, you move beyond the qualities. You move beyond the trigunas. Our body is not an enemy, if it is telling you something, your body is trying to give you indications, signs and symptoms. You have cravings every single day after every meal, or maybe you recognize towards evening, I crave more. Non-diabetic is not enough. If you want to strive, I would advise.
Today's guest is someone that I've been looking forward to have on the show for quite a while now, because I know that listening to this conversation is going to increase your awareness of your overall health and well-being. And if you're someone who wants to invite better energy, more health into your life, this episode is for you. And also, if you're someone who wants to understand how you can improve your health, both physical and mental, this conversation is for you. And if you're one of those people who started to think that there's too much information, it's overwhelming information, there's too much data, who should I listen to, what should I think about, this conversation is for you, because we are going to simplify what are some of the challenges that we face today and also offer a solution. And today I'm talking to Sonam, who is an expert on the topic of Ayurveda and functional medicine. So welcome, Sonam. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Excited to have a conversation also. So I think I'll just give like a slight brief introduction about myself so people will have a knowledge what I'm all about. So hi everyone, my name is Sonam Singh and I'm from Delhi. So I'm an Ayurveda practitioner as well as functional medicine, and recently I have upgraded to clinical nutrition and gastroenterology and hepatology, basically dealing with your liver and your intestines. And also I'm a yoga teacher, and it's been a long time I'm a yoga teacher. So what inspired me? So initially I started with Ayurveda. So I have actually like a story behind it. I remember a long time back, I had like huge acne breakout. I always used to have a clear skin, like a normal skin, like everybody is, right? But then suddenly, because of stress, I had huge acne breakout. I had 5 big pimples here and this side. And as a female, especially in your younger days, it can be very stressful. Even now, also, that time you don't have much knowledge and tools to correct yourself except going to the doctor. So I was really distressed. So I went to the doctor, skin specialist. So he gave me like medicines, lotions to apply on, which was all fine. So when I came back with those bag of medicines, initially it was okay. After some time, my skin started drying up from inside. So I went to the doctor back again. He told me this is one of the way of dealing with the acne, when we're going to dry out your skin from inside. And on the face, the most sensitive part is just your lips, your skin under the eyes. So this was drying out, but all these skins started peeling off, like literally peeling off. They were really peeling off, and I was so scared. And imagine your top layer is going away, right? So you have very sensitive skin. Your sensitivity will increase on the top. So I remember another day I was just washing my face and continuing with the treatment and the medications. So I just like pat dry my face with a towel, and like a peel of skin came off, especially from the upper lip area, and everything was burning. I really felt like I have burning all over my face, and it was so alarming for me. So I went to the doctor again, and then again he gave me some medicine. I came back. My mom said, "Just stop all this. Go to Ayurvedic doctor." And at that time, because you're a mid of a situation, you want to try anything possible. At that time, you're not prejudiced about anything. You're just looking for the solution. So I went to the Ayurvedic doctor, and then I have a severe acne and a burning sensation problem. And this doctor started asking me about how is your digestion. I was so annoyed. I was telling this doctor, listen, doctor, my problem is my acne, not my digestion. And because imagine my state of mind, I was really, the skin was burning, acne, and there was no end to it. And I was on the top of it, when you're angry, behind you're scared. So my anger was like a shield. Inside, I was really scared. So then again, he was started asking about my digestion, this and that. So he gave me few medicines, especially to clear out my stomach and my intestines. And I was wondering, like, what is this? And then he gave me some lapum. In India, we call lape like a mask, face mask, little smelly. A lot of camphor was there. At that time, I used to find it smelly. And you won't believe, within a day, burning was gone. It disappeared completely. And then within a week, my skin was almost back to normal. And I just couldn't understand. I was like, what this happened? Because I was struggling and all of these things for so many days. And suddenly this Ayurvedic doctor gave me some tripla, some amla, few things here and there, and I was all fine.
Wow.
So this really intrigued me. I was thinking, I want to know what is this? What science is this? Of course, at that time, I was not thinking about the science aspect. I was thinking, what is this? I was so curious. So that led me interest towards Ayurveda. And I remember a long time back in 2015, I went for my first teacher training course. So they had a short course of Ayurveda also. So since I was anyways there, so I was thinking, okay, let me just do a basic course. Let me see what it is. And growing up in India, knowing about a little bit of Ayurveda here and there, it's nothing new to us. It just comes naturally, like a part of the culture. So it was sounding very exciting to me. My teacher was amazing. Whatever he was talking was making sense to me. Now, the problem is that at times we talk a lot of ancient things in a very alien language that nobody can correlate. Now, this doctor, my teacher, he was talking in a language which everybody can correlate to, everybody can understand. And I was really happy. And I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the Ayurveda. I went to Kerala and then studied this whole Ayurveda and stuff. So that is Ayurveda story. Now, next comes the functional medicine. So after being certified as Ayurveda practitioner level 3, I was going about my looking at my patients, this and that, but I realized, see, Ayurveda is a 5,000 old year science. And at that time, we had a lot of, I feel people were much more intelligent than us. They used to look at the person and then they will just recognize what is the root cause. They were more sensitive for a lot of things. So coming back to present era, I realized we are not that intelligent enough the way they were. So might not as well little bit have a Western approach that will help me for diagnosis. I was looking around for something. I hadn't made my mind that time that I will go for functional medicine. I was seeking for some help. And then I came across this functional medicine, which also deals with the root cause. And I was thinking, okay, this is a great blend of two studies. So I did this functional medicine practitioner course from US. And I was really happy because even that branch of science is dealing with the root cause of the problem. And traditional way of treating, I have nothing against of it. I think everything has its own importance. But at the same time, see, when it is a critical situation, you want a medicine. There's no way about it. But when it comes to lifestyle, you can't deal with the medicine. It's as simple as that. And some people are so against Western, some people are so against Ayurveda. I think this is a foolish way of approaching. It depends what you need, what I need. So what you need at that time, if that solves it, great. If it doesn't help, you look for something else. So even this, like I said, functional medicine was dealing with whole person. Not, for example, I have a cholesterol problem. So let me give you statin medication and let's drop your cholesterol down. That's a bad approach, right? Let's say somebody have a cholesterol problem. Most probably they have a metabolism problem, which is coming from an underactive thyroid gland. So this kind of approach, anyways, I used to love science and biology and chemistry. So I was thinking, okay, this is coming very naturally to me. I don't have to really strive hard to study. I love it. So this is how I educated myself in functional medicine. Now, after all this thing, there's a side of you who wants to study. I'm one of those. I love studying. I don't know, not in the school days. I wasn't like that. Later, eventually, I think after doing my yoga, intelligence developed. I don't know. Now I love studying. In school, no, not really. Then later, I was thinking, we have so many patients, they are dealing with a lot of issues with their gut and a lot of issues with their liver. And then again, I was looking for something. I came across this subject or course, which is like clinical nutrition, gastroenterology, and hepatology. And I loved it. I loved it completely. And then I studied that. This is how it is. And yoga is always a part of my journey. In schools, I'm from KV. In KV, no, it's like a semi-government school in India. A lot of cultural thing becomes a part of you. In summer camp, we used to go to yoga camps. In summer camps, at times used to have a classical music camps, this and that. So you're so exposed to traditional thing from a very early age. So I think I was in third standard. I learned yoga. So it's been like going on. Then I did my certification and stuff. So this is my journey.
Wow, it's beautiful. It's such a blessing that you had this happening that was the causing thing for you on your face, on your skin, which is
Yes,
when something's happening inside, we might not pay attention to it, but when it's visible, then we are like, oh, okay, I need to deal with it.
I need to deal
And
with
I
it.
think yeah, it's a little bit sad looking at the larger population that when we have certain digestive issues or we might have constipation, we might have loose stool and all these things that people just put it on the side. It's okay, it
Mm-mm.
happens. I don't pay attention to it, but the moment when it's visible, then we are like, okay, now I'm going to deal with it, especially like hair, skin, nails, and things
Yes,
like that.
yes,
And it's a little bit sad, but at the same time, I'm glad that this happened to you. And look at you from that moment to now, where you help people understand the root cause of their disease. It's such a beautiful journey. You had a certain pain, and then you found a solution, and now you're offering it to more people. It's truly inspiring. And I one thing that I wanted to ask you is at the time when you had the these pimples, you said that there was
yes.
stress, but and that there was also a certain level of anger that you had because you didn't want to maybe look at what the root cause is, and so you
Yes.
were afraid, you were scared. So I'm wondering, do you have a lot of patients who are scared to even know what they're actually having, what they're actually dealing with, because they I feel that's a very common thing that we are scared to know, and that's why we don't go to the doctor.
That's so true. I think I'll come back to the brain again. It's like fear of unknown that plays
Mm.
around. Like normally you're going about your life, everything seems fine, though our body is always giving us certain signs and symptoms, but we choose to ignore, or maybe we are not so connected with ourselves. I think in a way it's blessings in disguise that I got acne. In a way, it shows a negligent of mind also. Like your body is giving you signals, but you're not able to recognize it. So coming back on the stress part, I was going through really lot of stressful emotional situation. I didn't know this is how it's gonna trigger. So when I speak to a lot of people and they tell me I am going through emotion, I know their body will manifest in some way. So for me, it was a huge stress factor, and somebody who, see, normally everybody have a clear skin, no, unless and until you have hyperacidity or something, generally people have clear skin. So as a young child, if you have acne, it just seems like a public shame, because at that time you're so more you recognize yourself so much with face, with your hair, with your height, with your weight. At that time, that's the only criteria you recognize yourself. And something on the face for a younger child, it's just too much, because everybody can notice. Forget outside people, even your mom, dad, siblings will tell you, hey, what is this acne on your face? It just starts from home only, right? So it was such a shame. And imagine huge big pimples and painful. On top of it, I know there's so many of them coming up, it's like budding up in an ugly way. So, but at the like I said, I was going through a lot of emotional turmoil also. And another thing, Ayurvedic doctor, he asked me about this emotional thing, about my stress, and I said, yes, I'm really stressed. So the moment he recognized, because of stress, there's so many things happens in the body. It was like a turning moment. I was like, okay, from now on onwards, I'm not going to take so much stress for anything in my life, because it was so obvious,
But how
right?
did you
So
turn around? Was it easy for you to just say no to stress, or how did you start recognizing and be more aware? Okay, now I'm really going to stress and I need to step back.
okay, see, you know what? I think the way my mind changed, it's not a survival mechanism of the body. Till the time you're stressed because of somebody, stressed because of certain kind of emotion, okay, there is something going on. The moment it'll start threatening your own well-being, at that time the selfish you will rise up. End of the day, we value our life. The moment your life isn't threatened in some way, when I say life, I'm talking about a health here. Okay. Let's say when your health is personally attacked, rest, everything will take a back seat. This is very human nature. The moment your life is or your health is attacked, everything will take a back seat, no matter what it is, no matter how important relationship, stress, or job is. I have seen people, they love their job so much. But the moment they recognize because of this job, they have reached this critical stage. I'm not talking about a budding stage. It's like a stage when there is do or die situation. Everything will become secondary. It's not important anymore. So maybe this is the saving mechanism of the brain. So my brain is okay. Let's take a U-turn. Nothing is important to me as of now. And the moment I start seeing the results, I was like, okay, this works. Yeah, my only thing was, okay, this works. It's not worth it. You will realize the shallowness of the stress. You will see that it's not worth it. It's affecting in such a nice way. And another thing, let's say I was stressed because of two, three people, and I realized those two, three people are going about normal in their life. I'm the only one suffering.
Mm.
So that also like open up your eyes. So this happened to me. So this is how I realized, okay, it's not worth it. The way I'm exaggerating, maybe I'm just exaggerating. Because had it been something, everybody will be affected in the same way. I was the only one suffering. So yeah, then I decided, okay, I'm not going to take this stress. Whatever. Leave
Wow.
it.
Yeah, it's not easy. That's why I'm trying to say, but it's beautiful the way that you said that you recognized you were more observant to your thoughts, the way that you were acting in the world. You were
You
seeing
will be
that.
when you will have this. Sorry, Stevan, but you will be when you will have this outburst of acne on your face.
Yeah, sometimes it needs that. Sometimes I think that's also one thing that when we have a certain disease or when we have our family members have a certain disease, we are like, okay, let's fix it, let's get it quickly, remove it, remove it, remove it. But we don't think about the lessons that are being learned from that.
Yes.
And I think you are a great example that you can turn something that is painful into something that is beautiful, right? Like now it's a career. It's more than a career,
Yes,
you know.
it's a
It's
career.
it's
Yeah, it's more than career.
yeah. So that's really beautiful. So there's one thing that I wanted to talk about because I have consulted Ayurvedic doctor in the past, and since I was on the journey of coming to India in 2018, 2019, living in India, and then starting to apply certain things from Ayurveda. But at the same time, I was living at Sadhguru's ashram where we learn about
Hmm.
pranic foods, and it's mostly related to what has most prana and what does not have much prana.
Least
It's
prana.
negative
Mm-mm.
prana actually.
Negative
So
prana.
we follow a diet in this direction, and then I met this Ayurvedic doctor, and he started telling me that for one of the things that he wanted me to use was garlic. And I was like, no, I can't have
No, I
garlic
can't.
because it's no,
Yeah.
it's a negative pranic food. And he was like, yes, it might be negative, but we can use it for certain purposes. And my
Yes.
mind was completely blown because before I used to eat garlic, and then I had this idea that garlic is so bad, and so I would not touch it at all. And then he was like, there are certain instances where garlic is actually a good idea. And one of the examples that he had given is number one, if you had in your past, if you had surgeries and you had to take a lot of medicines, garlic is one
Mhm.
of the best things to take in order to remove those residues of the medicine. And number two, if you have a common cold or a fever, garlic is very good in those situations.
Mhm, mhm.
So I was like, I don't know. It just I was just like, wow, okay, I had this belief it's so bad, but actually it's not. So that's I don't know, just this like pranic food versus Ayurveda is something that really struck me.
And it seems like contradictory also.
Yeah. Yeah, but
So, mhm. Please go ahead.
yeah, for me it was like, okay, I have to stop thinking what is right, what is good, and I just need to focus on what does my body need right now.
Yes. So, see, when we talk about nutrition, when we talk about medicine, nutrition, what you need as an individual is always different. What general advice we receive. Even on social media, now YouTube, Instagram, everywhere, there's so much information. Like we are bombarded with information like never before. And I will not say it's anybody's fault because our brain is meant to receive information. Now, the problem is over information. And another thing, what I see all over, we are mixing up. See, medical situation is different from a normal maintenance situation. Medical advice is always different from a lifestyle advice. So what we are seeing right now, when you go for this sattvic fruit, where you don't want to take this tamasic or the negative prana food, we're talking about a healthy individual. So let's say I want to change my diet. I want to make sure that I will get everything which is positive in prana. I don't want any negative things. But before that, let me see, do I have any underlying diseases? Do I need certain herbs or medicines to cleanse my system first? Tamasic have a negative connotation, but see, if it is there in nature, it has to be some purpose to it, right? Things which are very potent, it's those are great medicines. But once we make them as a part of a lifestyle, that becomes a problem. Example, garlic. So when you wanted to come to India and you wanted to cleanse your system, now let's see how our body is detoxing all of these things. It mainly happens because of the liver. So liver is detoxing our body in three stages. So first, everything is fat soluble. Liver will convert it into water soluble, and then it will throw it out in the form of stool, sweat, and urine. Now this conversion, this three-step process requires huge amount of nutrition. Even if one is missing, your liver will stop the process. And the worst, let's say now you collect all these, you start eating herbs, you want your cleansing process to go nice. So you have all this fat soluble toxins now in the liver. Now your liver will start converting them into water soluble. Now, what if on this stage third, certain enzymes, certain vitamins, minerals are needed, but those are missing from your diet? Now the worst situation will happen. Because they are water soluble, they will start recirculating in your body. Or maybe, let's say everything is fine, everything is fantastic, but you have constipation. Now, till the time they were fat soluble, it was fine. It was not mixing up or interacting with anything because this is how fat is. It will just enclose everything. Water soluble have a tendency of mixing up with everything, right? So now on stage three, if it is not happening, that's what we do in a detox program also. You need to rule out your constipation. You need to rule out your diarrhea or any sort of stuff. Otherwise, now these water soluble toxins will start recirculating and your body will start absorbing. Now, there is the process. It's once you go for detox, suddenly detox, no, for some people, it will backfire them. They will start getting
Hmm.
more acne. They will start feeling more fatigue. They will not feel well. And they just wonder, but I went for detox, like what's happening with me? Probably your liver is not able to make stage three process that efficiently. So we need to look back. First, we need to fix your digestion. We want to make sure you don't have constipation. We want to make sure you exercise every day. Some people, they don't exercise. Some people do not know what's the concept of a sweat. Some people are maybe they don't drink enough water, so there's not enough urine output. So see, this is the natural process of the body, right? If those things are not happening, but you want to detox your body, it will backfire you. So this is how it is. Let's talk about this sattvic food. So sattvic food, you will see it's more like a yogic kind of a area, right? When you want to get into sadhana, you want to get into kriya yoga, you want to make sure your diet is sattvic. But before that, before yoga comes Ayurveda. Ayurveda wants to make sure you are healthy and wealthy. Then only you go for the sattvic diet. Before that, we need to address your all underlying issues. I understand at times we're excited, we want to make sure I will do the right thing, but maybe something which needs to be dealt in the body. And one negative approach is that we tag things. This is wrong, that is wrong, this is right, that is right. Let's talk about garlic. It's great for the heart. It's great to keep your BP how it should be. It's a great medicine. But if we consume it every day, then it will start affecting the nervous system, the vitality of the whole nervous system. It will start dulling down. So, as a medicine, it's perfect. Daily consumption, no.
Hmm. What if somebody has like a high blood pressure? Would it be like a daily medicine for them, or it would have too much of a damage?
Okay, let's high blood pressure usually comes from high blood sugar. So basically, what is high blood pressure? I'm saying in a very simplistic language, your pipes basically where the blood is flowing through, right? So what is a higher blood pressure? This blood is creating a lot of pressure here on your arteries, on your basically pipes, right? So why it is natural for them to create pressure? Your arteries, your veins will expand, it will come back to normal. It will expand, it will come back to normal. But once you have high blood sugar or your diet is low in potassium or magnesium, this process will start getting restricted. So for high blood pressure, it's always nice to address your blood sugar. If your blood sugar is taken care of, you will not actually have high blood pressure. So the root cause is really high blood sugar.
And high blood sugar is usually caused by a heavy carbohydrate diet.
Again, it depends. Are you a sedentary person or do you have a lifestyle which is moderate or you're more sports or athletic point of view? Let's say you're a very athletic person. It's okay for you to have carbohydrates. Now, everybody start jumping into conclusion. Oh, what is this? High carbs? Carbs are not bad as long as you balance them. Somebody who have a lot of physically demanding lifestyle, like an athlete, for them, you ask any athlete, they eat good amount of carbs. They will never go on this keto diet, restrict themselves, never, because that's a good amount of glucose in the blood, right? Now, let's say you have a moderate lifestyle. You want to make sure you don't eat too much carbs. Let's say you have an extremely sedentary life. You want to make sure your carbs are really less because you're not burning them, you're not using them anymore. So again, it depends upon the person. If you are athletic, go ahead, not a problem. If you are sedentary, which most of us are basically, so it's nice to
Yeah.
keep your carbs down.
Yeah, now since I'm living in India, I see a lot of diabetes here. And on top of that, I see a lot of high blood pressure as well. And I think, I don't know, one of the reasons must be stress. But another one is definitely that the diet, the Indian diet, the way that it is right now is heavy based on carbohydrates such as rice
Yes.
and wheat. So I don't see a lot of variety in people's meals. And so I think that must be, along with stress, as we have talked before, one of the main
Mhm.
reasons why people suffer that.
See,
Yeah.
now if we go back to the Indian history, we are basically agriculture based country. Imagine a farmer who's going out in the morning to work on his field and he will return in the evening only. That's a lot of hard work. Mostly you will see that in India towards north, we have a lot of wheat based. Towards south, there's a lot of rice based thing. Towards mountain, again, there's a lot of rice and millets. So we are an agriculture based society. Now coming to modern life, agriculture, hard work is gone, but lifestyle is still like that. And also Ayurveda says, no, you pick up your diet as per your lifestyle. In India, it was very categorized in a way. If you're a warrior, you will eat non-vegetarian. If you're a farmer, you will eat this way. If you're a pandit or somebody who's more into spiritual practices, you will go for the sattvic diet. The problem is that we leave the things, we pick up a spectrum, just a small spectrum of it. And then this is how our whole life revolves around. I need to see what is my lifestyle, what things it is your body is demanding. Let me know, do not go by the general how everybody is doing. Another thing I see, we don't have enough time now. What is the easiest way to cook rice? Right? So,
Yeah, yeah. But even
and
we have, many people say we don't have time, but they have time, but they're just lazy to do it.
I think time, see, even if you look at your day, right? So let's say you have 10 things to do in a day. What if you keep thinking about those 10 things? You will be mentally occupied. You will think that you have a lot of work, but you haven't finished a work. So
Yeah.
I think between two tasks, we have so much lag time that it seems like these two tasks has taken my entire day. But if I really look at it, what is my lag time in between?
So
So I
true.
think
So true.
if we remove this lag time, we all have enough time, no?
Yeah.
Scrolling social media, just not social media. I will not say social media. It's the way you or me are. Let's say I have a lazy tendency. Let's say I'm kapha body type. I don't like much of activity. I would love to just laze around and just relax, do nothing. Let's say I'm Vard body type. I would love to do 10 things in a day. So I need to recognize, okay, what comes naturally to me, what doesn't come naturally to me, how much I'm lazy, how much I'm active. Let me design my lifestyle as per that. Not because others are saying that. Let me see, just being too honest with yourself. Just be honest. Okay, I hate cooking. So what can I do? Let me do something which is more nutritious and a less time taking. Somebody who loves cooking, like my brother, he loves cooking. So you can have all the lavish cooking. So you need to be honest, okay? Do I like it or no? Do I don't like it? Then only you will arrange and rearrange your life as per your lifestyle.
Yes, it's beautiful. And I think even for somebody who is listening and they might be thinking, oh, I don't really like it. I think there's a way, for example, if you soak something before the night, like for the next day, if, okay, tomorrow I'm going to make a certain, like you use dal or rice or whatever, if you can soak it overnight, then the nutrients of that food will be enhanced. So you will also need
Exactly.
to eat less, and like these kind of things, even if it's simple food, you can incorporate certain things like sprouts, which you just need to soak. You don't need to,
Mhm.
do much with it. There's so much variety in India, I think, which is the beauty here, that people miss out on just because they're not into cooking. But I
Yes,
think the moment you see your health and your well-being get better, then you will also become more inspired to eat better,
exactly.
right?
And on that point, I will say that I remember when I was living in Qatar. Okay, till 2020, I used to live in Qatar. And then post COVID, during COVID, I moved back here. And then there was a lockdown, and it just happened to be here. I remember in Qatar we used to have a lot of nationalities there. And you get into general discussion and they were like, vegetarians are so boring. And I was like, why? And they said, yeah, because you guys have only a few vegetables like a salad. And I said, no, you come to India. We have a lot of variety. So, in India, the thing is that this is only case of cities, I think, Delhi, Bombay, Pune, where you have a super active lifestyle. If I go to my village, my suburb areas, people are actually still eating a lot of variety and clean things. It's only this modern Western way of living that is actually hampering a lot of people. We have this race, I need to earn a lot of money, or I have to socialize. Let's say Saturday night you're free. Okay, Saturday night you don't have any plans to go out. Suddenly, living in city, your mind will be like, oh, I think my life is boring. I need to find out somebody. Let me hang out with someone. You will become so compulsive about it. Instead, okay, let's say weekend I'm free. Maybe there's something that I'm dealing with. Maybe I'm not very organized in a day. Let me just sit and relax and analyze myself. All week I crib. This doesn't happen that way. This doesn't happen that way. Let me reorganize my things. So you need like a space to think what is working for you, what doesn't work for you. But let's say you in this social situation, or you have a group of friends or whosoever. You guys are always out. You will do everything group, but individually you are still the same person. There's no change, there's no transformation at all. You're still the same person. And Sivan, you mentioned so nice. There are so many options of cooking, soaking overnight, like you said, or because we have a lot of anti-nutrients in the food, right? Because of certain thing, other vitamins or nutrients will not be absorbed in the body, and this is highly right for vegetarian diet. All these lentil, lot of chickpeas, almonds, they have a lot of anti-nutrients. You soak them overnight. Next day, if you're in a so much rush, just mix it up with some salt, lemon, good to go. Or what I do most of the time, I'm doing it so much, just soak chia seeds overnight, put some oats, put some milk. If you're allergic to milk, get another form of milk, whatever it is, mix it up, eat it. That's it. Put some pumpkin seeds, put some sunflower seeds, mix it up and eat it. So here we have a breakfast recipe.
Yeah, yeah, I think the significance is that you have a form of fiber, like something which makes things move smoother. And then
Mhm.
you have also some fat and some protein. And I think that balance, just to keep, I don't know, I also was very interested in the science. So I did get myself educated. What are the different foods that have more fat, more this and that? Just because you don't need to do that if you're listening to this, you don't need to do that if you're not into this, but you can listen to your body. If in the morning you have poha and then your blood sugar goes high and then it drops down because it's just carbohydrates, then don't wonder that by noon you'll feel like sleeping, right? So the next day when you wake up, you go for something else that is not just carbohydrates, and then you see how you feel. So I think that's the best way to approach, to just try and see how your body feels when you have it. And you can keep a journal. How do I feel after eating a bag of chips? How do I feel after eating a bowl of fruits?
Yes. And okay, let's discuss this poha. It's so interesting. You can include this also in your diet. So let's say you're having poha, which is mainly this flattened rice. It's quite high in glycemic index. Of course, it's going to raise your blood sugar. Let's say you have a very active day, okay, and you won't be getting food for till late afternoon. At that time, poha is fantastic. If you want to make it more nutritious, or you want to make sure that you don't have this, see, sugar spike is natural and it's normal. Diabetic people don't have, that's a problem. We don't want too much of spike and too frequent spike. That's what we don't want. Spike is a natural thing. Okay. Now, if you don't want this sugar spike to really peak, do one thing, add some sprouts. So in a bowl of poha, add some overnight soaked sprouts, mix it up. This will be perfect. It's high in protein, high in vitamin C, fiber is there, carbs are there. It will really become nice. So there's no problem with it. Or maybe you want to make it more nutritious, add some peanuts, overnight soaked peanuts or something. There is nothing wrong or right. It's just a permutation and combination. Like you also said, just observe how you feel about it. Because
Yeah,
ultimately,
that's a good
all
point.
nutrition, yes,
Yeah, ultimately.
bottles down to exactly, it bottles down to individual. How do you feel about it? If you feel great, fantastic. And also just few general things. I am super busy today. I don't have much time to eat. I don't have much time to cook. Just take chia seeds, soak it overnight, oats, mix it up, add some honey if you think it's lacking in taste, or maybe put some dates. That's it. This is a simple breakfast. If you're in a mood to eat something more savory, take poha, add like a handful of sprouts, mix it up, eat it. Perfect. You will love it. And this is tried and tested. So many of my patients and clients, initially they think it's so sad, it's boring. But trust me, once you will start eating real food, your body have a natural intelligence. You will start loving all these kind of food. In fact, you will wonder why I was eating all that junk before. You will start questioning yourself and your cravings will go down. Steven, do you have anybody or are you one of those who have sweet cravings?
I used to have, yeah. Actually, now I'm like 2 weeks, maybe 20 days without sugar.
Oh,
Before that,
wow.
I was like, I was not able to control myself. It was strange. Sometimes, almost every day after I had my lunch or dinner, especially in the evening, there would come a point where I'm like, I need something sweet. And then I was like, after, I don't know, it just took me like, there was just a moment when I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I don't want it anymore, and I just stopped sugar. And the first 3 4 days, I was like, I need it, I need it, I need it, I want it, but I
Did
kept
it
it
not feel
away.
like a headache?
Yeah, it felt like an addiction for sure. Yeah, but I didn't had any in my near surroundings. Like I told my wife,
Mhm.
we will not buy any chips, we won't buy any cold drinks, and there was chocolate in our home, but I was committed enough to say no. And every time I saw the bag of chocolate, my mind was going like, "Oh, I wish I could have it."
Maybe.
Actually, if I think the best thing, if anybody wants to reduce the amount of sugar or quit it, would be to first do it slowly. Not everybody can just jump in and stop it
Yeah,
immediately. The second thing would be to reduce the amount of stuff that you're buying, because
yeah.
once it's not there in your home, going out and buying it, that's already a step you might be like, not today.
Yeah, because we have to remember a part of us is also lazy. That will help in
Yeah.
that situation.
Yeah. So yeah, I used to have yeah, sugar cravings a lot. So to answer your question, I know what it feels like. Yeah.
Okay, so let's come to sugar craving. I think a lot of people can correlate to this. See, look, whenever you have sugar craving, no, it's not evil. Once in a while, it's absolutely normal to have sugar or sugary things. I will not say it's evil. Anything becomes evil when you eat it daily. That's the thing because it will start showing its effect. So now let's say once in a while it's okay. Now in a situation you have cravings every single day after every meal, or maybe you recognize towards evening I crave more. So I would advise please go and check your blood sugars. Okay. So let's come a little bit to the science also. So if you check your HbA1c, that is the average of 3 months of your blood sugar. That is quite a reliable test. If it is going above 5.5, I would say you're already in the pre-diabetic zone. Now we have different kind of ranges. One is the lab range, which is a way wider range. We don't use that in functional medicine. What we pick up the optimal ranges, which is narrow. So you want to be somewhere here. Let's say this is your lab range and this is your optimal range, but you still want to be here somewhere. You don't want to be tipping towards the either of extreme. Okay. So the moment you cross 5.5, we say you're already pre-diabetic. But now here's the thing. Being a little bit towards pre-diabetic, it's different compared to a normal blood sugar. If you don't want disease, you want to make sure you are below 5.5. But if you want no cravings, your body works fantastically, your energy levels are great, you want to make sure your HbA1c is around 5. So there's a huge difference. We think 5.5 is also fine, no problem, it's okay. Yes, it's okay, it's not disease. But there's a difference, a disease and a healthy person. Disease free is okay, below 5.5, 5.4 is okay. Healthy, efficient, vibrant, good mood, 5. Okay. So if you
What
have
are we
this kind of
talking about?
cravings,
What is 5.5 and what is
HbA1c.
5?
See, okay, so when we talk
Hey,
about blood sugars, okay, so this is like the way we measure. See, when we say 5.5, let's say this is your red blood cell, okay, oval shape. So 5.5 is showing you how much of your red blood cells percentage is covered with the sugar. You want to make sure it's around 5. So let's say for diabetic people, no, it goes around 6, 6.7, 6.5, 7. So what's the problem? So why is this such a big concern? The thing is that your red blood cell, it's very flexible. Okay. Because imagine what all places your blood have to go. So tiny capillaries, head, blood-brain barrier, so many places, right? Basically every part of your body. So this cell has to be very flexible so that it can reach to those tiny, tiny places. But what if here, I'm not saying your HbA1c should be 0. No, that is also not healthy. You should be around above 4.5. You don't want to be too low also. So let's say your HbA1c is around 5. This is a good way. You will have enough energy, your RBC will work better. Now, you become pre-diabetic, which is like around 5.6 percentage of your red blood cell is covered with sugar. Now your cell will become inflexible. Rather, it will become rigid. Okay. This red blood cell will start scratching your inner layer of the skin, epithelial layer. Okay, so once this hard red blood cell will start scratching everything, here you will see that your HSCRP will start increasing up. That's an inflammation marker. So imagine, think about I have very sharp nails. I keep scratching myself every day. Obviously, I will have wound, I will have injury, there will be redness. So meaning what? My inflammation is increased. This is what all of us are doing to us when your HbA1c is going above 0.5 every day. Now people will say, that's what I'm saying. If you have cravings, it's always nice. Go and check your HbA1c. Go and check your fasting blood sugar. That is also good criteria. But I generally prefer HbA1c. You will know what is my problem. Okay. Just non-diabetic is not enough. If you want to strive, make sure you're around 5, 5.1, but not more than that. Automatically your cravings will go down. Our body is not an enemy. If it is telling you something, your body is trying to give you indications, signs and symptoms. Let's say, Stevan, you're going through a stressful situation. Your sugar cravings will go up because your body wants optimum nutrition that time. So nutrition, sugar can be chocolate, sugar can be grapes also. So we need to pick up nicely and nicely also, right? Which one I pick up? That
yeah,
is also a question, right? So I would say pick
absolutely.
up grapes or strawberries.
Yeah, I think pick up grapes and strawberries on most of the days, and then once in a while, maybe chocolate. Like have
Yeah,
a
once in a
balance.
while,
Yeah,
chocolate, why not?
yeah.
You don't want to be so
And
strict all the time, but you want to make sure you are
mm,
not abusing your body. If you are, you better be strict.
yeah.
Generally, if you keep it healthy, you don't need to be very strict. And nobody else, no? It's nothing new. Nobody else is so strict about food, generally, also.
Mm. Yeah, I think there's a difference in terms of also observing your own behavior, right? Do you have a piece of the chocolate or do you eat the whole chocolate? So
Yes.
you can see your own patterns, your own way of thinking. Maybe your mind is saying it's enough, but your body's ruling over you and you're just eating more. So I think, yeah, I like that approach where you focus on observing yourself more, and
Yeah.
yeah, maybe like I said, keep a journal where you stay aware of your patterns. I wanted to talk about one thing that you had mentioned before, which is when the blood moves through the pipes that we need potassium and magnesium.
Yes.
So these two are the main components that help blood move through the body.
No, it's, let's say in winters, right? When everything is so stiff and tight, these pipes, they exert extra pressure. Or maybe let's say you put a water bottle in the refrigerator and you freeze everything. It will put a lot of pressure on the walls. So what is the problem? Pressure is not a problem. Problem is its ability to expand and come back. That has gone. That is a problem, right? So we want to make sure that this stays, you keep this quality on your body. So you want to make sure your HbA1c stays below 5.5. Also, anybody who have BP problem, one of the best vegetable for you would be beetroot. It is extremely high in potassium. It is extremely nice for people who have blood sugar problem and magnesium. Now there are different kind of magnesium available in the market. Magnesium citrate is amazing. Magnesium, yeah, I usually prefer magnesium citrate. That these two things will help you so much. Do include one beetroot in your diet. It is wonderful for people who have blood pressure problem, and you will see that blood sugar problem will also follow up. And if I just quickly add on one thing, when we talk about blood pressure, it is a vessel problem. It's a blood vessel problem, right? So don't you think everything is connected in the body? It is, right? So when you have a blood vessel problem, don't be surprised, soon you will develop migraine problem. Or if you have a migraine problem, soon you will develop blood pressure problem, because ultimately it's a vessel problem. It's not a blood flow problem. Your blood is flowing nice. There's no problem with it. Problem is with the vessels. So anybody who have frequent headaches, migraines, you must check your blood pressure. You must check your HbA1c, that is sugar marker, insulin levels in your body. And there's another great test, that is HOMA IR. It can check insulin resistance. These are wonderful things you can do for yourself. Remember, blood pressure problem and migraine problem, they're interrelated. If you are getting one, in no time you will get another one also, or vice versa.
I think a lot of people might be scared of going for that check, like being
It's not
scared
very
of
pleasant.
seeing, yeah, yeah, being scared of seeing the number and then realizing, oh, now I need to do
Oh,
something, I
what
need
is,
to change.
yes. Isn't it? Even if I look at my own blood reports, it's not the most pleasant thing. I understand. Even when I take my patients, I understand. It's not like just because I'm looking at somebody else's report, I don't understand what's the mindset. I completely get it. But you know what we want to do? Let's say somebody have some problem in their reports. First thing we want to say, let's not blame the person. Okay, why your blood sugar is high, why your blood pressure is high, why your cholesterol is like that. Let's not do this. Okay, maybe this person doesn't know about it, maybe it's unintentional, maybe certain, you have certain way of eating in the family. So let's not blame the person. What works for my patient, if I make them understand, they understand the things. I don't want to give them any rules. The moment you will have rules, you want to rebel it, the bad side of it. Come.
Yeah,
But what if I explain you, Stevan, everything? What if I tell you the importance of, like we discussed, HbA1c,
yeah.
how it is scratching our body, epithelial layer from inside? When you know about this, do you think you need a rule? Stevan, don't eat sugar. You will anyways will not eat sugar. Or you will
Mm.
anyways, you will make sure that I balance it out. I don't make it everyday thing. Once in a while, it's okay. I think this works for everybody. When you tell them, you make them understand. Then you don't need rules. You give them 10
Mm.
rules, they'll do something about it. They'll start bending the rules.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah, and I think what you shared so far will bring a lot of value to the listener. So there's something that I wanted to talk about, and you have mentioned it before when you were talking about sattvic food, is that people tend to avoid tamasic food, and they are focusing only on sattvic food, which is the quality of sattva. So there
Yeah.
are these three basic gunas that I think, just a little bit to go into that. People might know about it or they might not know about it, but there is Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva,
That's
right?
right. Yes, yes, absolutely. I think you know a
So
lot about Ayurveda, no, Sivan, now?
a little bit. I did read about it. I did consult a doctor as well. And he told me that even without checking my blood markers, he was looking at my eye. And he was
Yes.
telling me if you continue to eat sweets, you're definitely going into the direction of diabetes.
Mm-mm.
He also asked me about my family, how many people have developed, and I was like, wow, okay, this is serious. I shouldn't play with it.
Yeah, because I see, we'll come back to Rajesh, the qualities also. I just add on with a little bit. See, one thing that I see, our whole criteria of being healthy is thin. If I'm thin, I'm healthy. That's the general way of understanding, right? I feel like somehow it's great, but it can be bad also because thin people, not like naturally you end up eating so many junk food here and there or being a little irresponsible with your eating habit, but people boost thin people so much. Oh, you're thin, you can eat anything. Oh, you're thin, you can eat anything. This mind, this constant thing.
Yeah.
And trust me, somewhere it will get, this seed will go into a head. Oh, I'm thin, I can eat anything.
Yes, yes.
And I,
Especially if you're thin since childhood, and
yes,
from a young age, your parents are saying so it's ingrained
thin, you
in
can eat
your mind.
anything. Yes, it
Yeah.
even if you say no, not like that, but trust me, that seed will go into your head and you will start unconsciously behaving like that. Okay, I'm thin, I can eat anything. But eventually you will see that some people, let's say you're so skinny, I'm not saying you, generally I'm saying, let's say somebody's so skinny and suddenly they have sugar problem. And somebody else or a practitioner will ask them to cut down on the sugar, cut down on the rice, cut down on this, and you will end up losing a lot of weight. So in that time, you're not a very pleasant situation. On one side, you're losing a lot of weight. Another side, your blood sugar is still high. What to do about it? That becomes difficult situation, right?
Yeah. So for that kind of person, it would not be the right thing to cut down the sugars too much. Is that correct?
It's not about cutting down on sugar, if you put it in this way. It's about seeing what are the bad habits you have. Let's say a thin person, he's eating a lot of sugar. I would say cut down on the sugar. I always say, no, it depends on person to person. Everybody just keep it healthy and nutritious, no matter what others say. See, thin and fat is very subjective. I remember I went to Tokyo, and in Tokyo everybody's so skinny, right? In comparison, I'm broad. You know what I'm saying? Then I remember once I went to this place somewhere in Africa, I think Zanzibar. Yeah, and everybody's broad and tall, so in comparison I was petite and small there. So this is very subjective. Who's calling you thin? Who's calling you fat? It really doesn't matter. They just talk in reference. You go to this place, you know about it. A lot of places in Europe, everybody's like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", so tall. So in comparison, I'm short. But if I travel to Far East, I'm tall in comparison. So human mind is like that only, we're always calculating in comparison. So there's no point really comparing ourselves or listening to other people. I would say you go by what works for you, what your body demands.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. So let's jump into the Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva.
Yes.
One of the
Mm-hmm.
reasons why I wanted to talk about this is that next month Navaratri is coming up, and I've heard Sagur talk about that the 9 days are basically split up into 3 days for Tamas, which is represented by Durga and Kali,
Yes.
and Tamas is the earth element. And
Mm-hmm.
then comes the next set of 3 days, which are Lakshmi, which is connected to the sun. And when
Mm-hmm.
the sun is up, you want to do something. So it's connected to activity.
Activity.
And
Yes.
then the last 3 days are the time of Saraswati, which is the moon, and that
Mm-hmm.
is Sattva, and that is refining the physical, mental, emotional, and energetic body.
Yes.
So I would love for you to tell us more.
Okay. So if you see the pattern, we are going from a lot of strong, a lot of friction towards more energetic and then calming down towards the moon. If you see that from grossness, we are going towards the subtleness in 9 days. We are going like that. And again, also you will see that whenever you see a diagram in Ayurveda, that is Tamas Sattva, they are cyclical. One will follow, another will follow one will follow another. Now, the first thing is that if you are too much Rajasic, if you're too much Sattvic, if you're too much Tamasic, it's cyclical. There is no way that you stay in that zone forever. You will move. It depends upon the stage of life you are in, how conscious you are about something, and there's nothing bad about it. Let's start with the tamas, tamasic, the earth element. If you look at the difference between a male and female, male, we say that they have higher earth element. Female, they don't have that much high earth element. There's a difference in body also. Male is usually broad, more tall, much heavier in weight compared to female. Female, a little bit more fiery. You have wife, you know it.
Oh, wow, that I never heard about this. This is so interesting.
So females are usually more fiery, they're more emotional, there's a lot of attachment, there's a little bit restlessness, emotional wise, little bit restlessness. But does it mean anything is bad? No, it's not bad, you know. Now, tamas will give you a sense of stability in the body and mind. If you're too much vast or if you're too much air element, you will be all over the place. You won't be able to sleep. There will be no stability in life. We need little bit tamas. Problem comes when it's too much tamas. You will become too lethargic. This vitality of the body will start going off. You will not be very energetic person anymore. And now think about, you're sitting down, you're not energetic, your mind is not really vital. You will start getting into the negative side of it, you know, a lot of negative thought process, or you know, very destructive mind, I would say. Little bit is fine, too much is not nice. Okay, this is one quality. So we don't want too much tamas also. That is the reason you start with tamas, you will start, and then you move towards the sun element. And then from tamas, you go to rajasic qualities. When it comes about the work or your business, rulers are great rajasic people. Huh? Achieving something in the world, everything is there. You know, a lot of activity in the world, a lot of passion is there. But you can't be like that throughout your life. After some time, you will be frustrated, right? So from there, from lethargy, you move into activity. And then from this activity, you move into a sattvic quality. When it calms your mind down, when it's a lot about introspect, you will understand the things I've done in the past, how much I need of what, right? This sattva mind can actually do a lot of introspect, can understand what I need in my life. So this is how it goes. But let's say you're always sattvic. Let's say you never move into tamas or rajasic. Probably, maybe you're not competent in the world. Maybe you don't have any much goals in life. Maybe your life is really flat. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. What I'm saying, if those two qualities will never come into your life, maybe your life is like this only, which is okay, not a problem, as long as you are okay with that. Or maybe you've seen a lot of criminals, they have really tamasic mind. It's too much. Now everything is gone towards negativity. Even if you explain them something, they will not understand because mind quality is not like that. Okay. Or let's say somebody who's super wealthy. What is the end of the wealth? What is the upper limit of the wealth? Because that money or that wealth, that power will start killing you only, no? We need this in a cycle. Now, this is the aspect of Devi. Coming to Shiva, you move beyond the qualities. You move beyond the trigunas because you're not in cycle anymore.
Anything that's cyclical is naturally repetitive, but anything that is cyclical also has a centrifuge or a centrifugal force, a force which is always trying to go away at a tangent from the circle. If you ride this centrifugal force of time, we say you're spiritual. If you are caught up in the cycle of time, then that's being material. If you're crushed by the cycles of time, then we say you're a suffering creature. It is the same cycle. Either you can be crushed by the cycle, or you can be trapped in the cycle, or you can ride the cycle.
The Shiva is beyond all of these qualities. There's no quality in him. So meaning you can pick up any quality whenever it's needed and then you can leave because you are not into this cycle anymore.
Wow. But you need the cycles in order to have existence. That's why you need Devi.
See, exactly. Usually we see that Devi is for the material well-being, for the worldly things. Shiva is beyond this worldly things. No, he's not interested. And he's not interested in what you achieve, what you don't achieve. It's not Shiva's area. But for Devi, the worldly things, you need all of these energies. Otherwise, you won't be so active and effective in the world. If you want to be more effective in the world, no, it depends what are your personal goals. Somewhere deep down, all of us want to be recognized, isn't it? I think somewhere deep down, no, all of us want to be recognized. What if I realize, yes, I do have the desire. Let me achieve this desire as soon as possible so that I'm free from this desire. So to achieve this desire and to liberate myself from this desire, I need good amount of rajas in my life. Imagine, so deep down I have this desire, but I'm always sattvic. So neither I'm fully sattvic, neither I'm free from my desires. I'm somewhere in between, restless person.
Yeah, I think what is important to recognize is that this is not just about food here. We are talking about your thoughts, we are talking about your actions, we're talking about your emotions, we're talking about all the areas in life that are based on these qualities. And I also understand that if there would not be such quality, like some people say, okay, so what's the point of Devi then? I will just go with Shiva and do that. And there's nothing wrong with it. You can do that. But isn't there a certain beauty to this creation? Like you have come to this planet Earth, you just came to this place and now you're having the experience of being a human. I think there's a certain beauty to it that sometimes people on the spiritual path are like, oh, what's the point? It's all just Maya. Who cares? Let's just go and do meditation or go into a cave and all that. But I don't know, somewhere I think there is a certain beauty and reverence to this creation that Devi is.
Absolutely. And if there is something in the world, it's not wrong, right? It depends what is your journey in this life, what are desires you have. I read this book and the title is so beautiful. The title is Honesty is the Biggest Spirituality. Okay. First, I need to honestly see, like without any prejudice, without thinking about I'm spiritual, I'm non-spiritual, and this and that. No, just being honest. Okay. I like this. It's as simple as that. Let's say I want to achieve, I want to make this house, I want to have this car, I want to have this and that. It's absolutely normal. We don't need to make it evil. This is your desire. This is my desire, maybe, Let me achieve these desire. Once you achieve, that's the beauty of it here. Now, once you achieve your desires, you'll be free from it. Till the time you're not achieving your, let's say example, let's come back to health. You want to be healthy, you want to run 120 kilometers, you want to have a normal life. Once you have a normal, healthy life, health will not come into your head. Because you're not healthy, you're thinking about health. You know what I'm saying? The moment you have that, tell me when was the last time you were thinking about your knees, your leg, your knees?
You don't
Never,
think
maybe.
about it. Yeah.
Yes. But you ask those people who have knee pains.
Yeah.
The only goal in life is my knee should get fixed. The moment your knee will be fixed, you will be liberated from this knee. Now I don't even think about it. That makes me free. You ask the person who's obese, the only goal in life is to lose weight. Once you lose weight, you'll be free from that. You can move on in life. That's the whole point. The problem is that we make it good, bad, ugly. That's not the point. Point is, what do I desire? Let me complete desires as per me, not what everybody have told me. So we need to sit alone.
And I think what's important here is also that there is a difference between what do I desire and then the programming that kicks in, which is, oh, this desire is material, so I shouldn't think about it. But if it's something that is continuously coming to you, then it's worthwhile looking into first. And secondly, before you stepped into spirituality, you might have had a survival program, which was, once I have money, I will be happy. Once I have my wife, I will be happy. Once I have the house, I will be happy. And then things happen and you were still not happy, and things happen, you were still not happy, and things happen and happen. And so then there is the spiritual programming which is
Yes.
okay, so now none of it matters, so I don't want any of it. I'm just going to work upon myself and be happy. While that is not a wrong approach, yes, you should work upon yourself and first see and establish yourself that you are happy without any of these things. But once you are in that state, once you realize that the outside things will not make you happy, now it's not wrong to pursue doing or getting something. I think there is a
Absolutely.
spiritual, like a negative belief that, oh, spiritual people shouldn't make money, oh, spiritual people shouldn't be rich, right?
Yes, I remember on that thing. We do get maximum clients from social media because we're working online. So I remember somebody was asking me, why are you charging money? Because it's Ayurveda. And I was like wondering, just because, see, isn't it not nice? Let's say you love something, you made your career out of it. What is better? You do a job which you hate, but you do your main passion part time for free. How these two things will sync? But there's another thing to it. In India, we say that Lakshmi brings liberation. Lakshmi is recognized for money and wealth. So till the time you don't have this, you will not be liberated from it. I'll give you an example. When I was living in Qatar, Middle East life is a lot about brands, lavish life, a lot of show off. What are you wearing? What are your watch, your jewelry, etc. Very show off life, I would rather say. And it depends the kind of environment you are in, you will have impressions of it. No matter how you are, unless and until you're so spiritually evolved, I am not. I had impressions about these things were affecting me. I was like, okay, let me buy this because everybody's talking about this watch so much. So I bought the watch and I was a little depressed. Reason being, at least before buying the watch, I had this desire which was fueling me up. Go buy the watch, get the money, buy the watch. But now I have it. What do I do with it? Then I realized, okay, it's not about the watch. And there's another thing. See, maybe it's not true for everyone. I think the less you are stable from inside, okay, more things you need outside. Okay. But first, let's not make money evil. Let's not make all of these things evil. You make it evil once you get it. You don't say, see, if I'm capable of something, but by choice I'm not doing it, that is different. I'm not capable of this thing, but I make it evil. That is bad approach. You're not a chooser that time. I'm not capable of anger. That's why I'm always nice person, because you're not capable of anger. But I can do both. I can be angry, I can be happy, but I choose to be happy. Oh, that's nice. You're exercising your choice. So I think we need to see, are you being honest with yourself? So important to know. Just because, Stevan, you do something, maybe I'm just inspired by you and start following your path. Maximum, I will become a reflection of you. I will never explore myself, right? That's why Devis are here.
Very, very true. And I think that's with social media, a lot of people are trying to do what other people are doing and thinking that might make them happy. And I think I love what you said. It's not about the watch, it's not about the job, it's not about the career, it's not about the thing, it's about the feeling that you want because of having that, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think the pursuit of it is very empowering, right? Like the
It is.
pursuit of that watch, the pursuit of that job, the pursuit of the career, the pursuit of the house, it's very empowering because now you're functioning from a place that is, okay, going to give my everything to get that watch. And you do that and you function and you thrive, and then the moment when you get the watch, that's the thing, most people when they get the watch, then they are lax, then they're like, okay, now I have it, now what?
Now what?
So I think
Yeah.
that's when the shift needs to happen too. Okay, see, now I have the watch which is representing all the past work and energy that I've put into, and this is a symbol for me to hold on to that, not to the watch, but to that emotion that I had, this drive, the energy that I put into this watch to show me that I'm capable.
Exactly. That will tell you actually what is your capability. It's not about your choice of career. It's not about which place you are living in. You are capable of it. Now you're productive. You can make something out of it. Coming on to that, some people, they had this thought, if I'm leaving Qatar, it's a wealthy place. I was running my business there. So why are you going to India? You must come back. You must do this. because everything was recognized via kathas. But that's the wrong thought process. And then I know a lot of people have this ambition. If I go to this country, I will achieve everything in my life. If I get this job, I will get. It's not about that. It's about you. If you really want to do it, no matter which place you are in, it may take some time. It may you need to figure out something. But trust me, the more uncomfortable situation you are in, faster you will adapt. So next time you will adapt further faster. Next time you will adapt more faster. And now later nothing will affect you because you know how to function. You know how to be productive out of any situation. Oh, it's okay.
And I think that vision that you have in your mind, that once I get to Qatar, once I get to whatever, wherever you want to go, if you can have that vision in your mind, and if you can focus on the feeling that you have in that place, and you can sit with it and you can bathe in that feeling, then your mind can actually not tell the difference between what is reality and what is not. So when you have a clear vision in your mind and you have a emotion attached to that vision, then that is going to manifest in your life. And the
It
more you
will.
practice this, the more you have that clear vision and the more you have that feeling, that so it's not about the going to that place, but it's about the feeling that you have. And when you focus on that feeling, then you're going to pay more attention. You're going to actually put your energy into that emotion, and so you're going to feel more of that emotion in your present life. And so your present life is going to change according to that emotion. And so you're firing and wiring your brain in a way which is going to support you to go towards that vision that you have.
Absolutely, absolutely. You will know, like deep down inside, like you said, you can use the word manifestation, you can use imagination. I think everybody have their own verbal connotation to it. You can talk in whichever language you want to. But trust me, once you recognize, I want this. Because I remember I can correlate with this when I was studying, when I was finished with my Ayurveda. And I used to wonder how people know so much about blood chemistry. I knew all my question was how people know so much about blood chemistry. How? That's it. This thought, this constant, it was on in my mind all the time. Not I was striving for it. Generally, it was there in my mind all the time. And eventually, next thing I know, I'm doing this course. Now I'm studying functional medicine. I was never striving. I was never striving for it. When something really sinks inside you, why I'm saying I was never striving for it, because our brain is so powerful. Somehow it will arrange itself, but it's not like you will just sit back. Because your brain is arranging and rearranging, there will be some actions which will not be like, because I know some people, they say, I was into trap this also, I was into this trap also. I was thinking, okay, manifestation means I will sit, close my eyes, and I was just imagining it. You be with that thought, your brain, your neurons will start arranging, rearranging, because those actions will be so organic. It will not feel like action. It mostly feels like inaction. And then when you look back, it will be like, oh, it happened automatically. There was action, but it was so organic that you never recognize, okay, this is the separate action I did. So there was so much. I don't want to take the name. There's so many big names about manifestation.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, when people talk about manifestation, they talk about the law of attraction, right? And in the law of attraction, the word itself says attraction, action. So you need to take action.
Yes.
You cannot
I'm
just
happy
sit
you
and
said
wait
that.
for it. It won't happen. You have
I
to
could
take
understand
aligned
in first.
action. Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what? When I was reading about this, see, when you're in a certain situations in your life, now you were ready to try anything out, everything. Let's say I have done 10 things in the past, but I really want something. I don't mind trying everything. This is the human psyche, right? That's how people come to Ayurveda and functional medicine. When they're like done with everything, they come to us. You don't mind. You're open up to new things. Then I realized I wanted something. I'm just doing this, sitting and imagining something. And I was like, okay, nothing happened really, because it was too artificial. It was too set up. The thought was not really in me. It's different when you sit with this thought artificially, and it's different when it just goes deep inside till your gut. It wants it. It will align
You're
automatically, but the
I
action
would
will be there.
say If you see that, if you recognize it's not working, it's most probably because you don't believe it.
Yes.
You are trying to visualize or attract it into your life, but somewhere deep down, you don't really believe that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
And
need to take aligned action, because
absolutely.
action is in the physical world. So action is going to tell you that, hey, this is possible. Hey, I can move in this direction.
Yes. Action is life, no?
Yeah, it comes back to the gunas also, right? Like we need to
Exactly.
have all three.
We need to have all of three, otherwise we won't be effective in the world. We won't be, like I said, people, everybody have different journey. I don't want to say this is bad or that is bad. It depends upon you and it depends upon my reality, what I see right or wrong. Let's say I remember back in those days when I started going to Isha, 2017 or 2018, I was too much of a business person. I was like full of business person because I was running up my center in Doha, new thing, nice thing, everything was awesome. And I was wondering, like, why people wasting their life? But because you're so rajas in your mind, right? That tells the quality of the brain. It was so rajas in my mind, so achiever. I want this, that, and I know I'm good with business. So at that time, it was like at the peak. And I was thinking, why people are wasting their life? But tell me, if you don't hit a peak, how will you ever cross that? Isn't it? If you don't pick a peak of what you are, you will never know. You really want to be there or you want to move on from that side. You do things partially, you do things half-heartedly, neither you're here,
Yes.
neither you're there.
Yes, absolutely. And on that, exactly what you're saying, actually, you in order to know what you want, you need to know what you don't want. So in life,
Exactly.
when you do certain things, we say, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Oh, I wish I didn't have this relationship. Oh, I wish this. But actually, you needed to have that experience in order to know, okay, that's not what I want. So let me
Yeah,
see, what do I want?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And if we come back to the health, which everybody can understand with this common topic, I have some people, I have some patients, they really want to get healthy. No matter what, all they see their healthy version of themselves. I will tell them these things you want to know, they will do it with the tea. There's no looking back. I said something, they will do it. And then I have some people who want to get healthy, but with their present habit. Now, this doesn't go well. So I need to constantly checking on them. I need to constantly motivate them. So let's just see, one, you really want to do something. Do you need motivation? No. And I had one of a patient, they were telling me, but I'm not motivated. You talk to me so that I get motivated. And I was like, if you really want something, why do you have to rely on motivation? You will do it anyways. No, somebody just need
Yeah.
to show you direction. You will just walk the path. So like you said, we want to know what I want my health. Somebody is guiding me. I will do it and I will achieve it. Just because we didn't
Yeah.
achieve something, probably you don't want it enough, or maybe that's not your thing, or maybe you're very happy with the current thing. There's no clarity basically.
Yeah, I think it's like inspiration and motivation can be empowering, but they can be crippling at the same time.
Exactly.
Because
Yes.
if you get motivated, then you should be clear on your goal and then you should be go for it. But if every day you need to get motivated, that means you're going in installments. It's you're pushing a car, and then
How long you can push it?
once the car starts, you
Just
drive
leave
for a
it.
little bit, just leave it, again push it. That's not the way. Like every day pushing the car, that's not the point of the car. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a great
And
point.
one, we can come back to the qualities of the mind also. Let's say you're somebody who needs a lot of motivation, a lot of pushing, a lot of inspiration. Maybe your mind is too tamasic. You don't have enough energy in your brain. In a
Mhm.
way, your body is not, it's, if I go to the scientific way, your body is not producing enough of ATPs. That's energy currency we heard in the school days. You have a problem till your cellular level. When somebody says, I don't have energy, normal connotation would be maybe you're lazy, maybe you don't have enough drive, maybe you don't have this. No, maybe that person wants to do it, but health doesn't support, energy system doesn't
Mhm.
support. We need to look at that factor also. I do get this variety of people. This lady was telling me so clearly, Sonam, I so want to do everything what you're telling me, but my body doesn't support me. At that time, I know she's genuine about it. But let's say my body doesn't support me, but I'm not able to recognize it or isolate it. The only thing you will do is a mood swing. No, I don't think so. No, this, no, grumpy mood swing. But what if I just sit quiet? Okay, I want to do it, but my body doesn't support me. Okay, let me do something about the body. That time you will have a clarity. But if you don't have clarity, all you will suffer is mood swings, feeling great, feeling low, feeling this. You will be so driven by your neurotransmitter. At times happy, at times sad, at times this. There's no consistency. That's the problem, right?
Yeah. And what would you say is like the best way to get that consistency? Is it usually related to, I would probably say it's a lot of related to sleeping cycles, like when you go to sleep, when you wake up. I think there is this concept, or there is the circadian rhythm, right? The clock in Ayurveda.
Our
Think that
body sees. Yes, please.
that's probably what I would say is off in most cases.
Yes, absolutely. End of the day, we all are solar powered. We run by sun. Is as simple as that, right? So when your sun is at the peak, your body is at the peak of the activities. The moment it starts going down, your body will start dropping down. If you understand the scientific thing, in the morning your cortisol is high. Towards the end, your graph goes down because your body is preparing for sleep, rest, and sleep and rest.
Yeah, even insulin. I didn't know this. I just
Exactly.
recently heard.
Yes.
So actually,
Yes.
after 8 p.m., you shouldn't eat anything because your body is not able to break it down because there is no insulin.
There is no insulin. See, that's the thing. When your cortisol goes up, that is why you wake up in the morning. You and me, all of us wake up in the morning because a stress hormone, which everybody thinks is bad, it's not bad. We need cortisol in the morning. It spikes up in the morning. Your sugar goes up. That's why we get ready for the day. We wake up in the morning. We do so many activities. So towards the day ends, cortisol goes down. So as your sugar, your insulin will go down. They two will follow each other. Now, let's say you're somebody, you have a sleep problem. Okay, you're not able to sleep, you're not able to get a good night's sleep or a deep sleep. You need to see, am I too active in the evening time? Or people are so addicted to watching podcasts, like we're doing it. These people watch it in the daytime.
They can watch it without the video, just listen to it.
Just listen or watch us in the daytime. Or
Yeah, blue light.
you know,
Yeah, I think blue light
blue
is one of the
light.
main causes why people, yeah, and the tube lights in homes, they really disturb
See,
your melatonin cycle.
they they do. Again, we have to be a little bit practical also. We can't really close down our it's nice in words, but practicality, who's doing this? Nobody. Because we
I
work
mean,
late night.
yeah,
A lot of people try.
we can improve it. We
We
can
can
work with
improve it,
certain,
yes.
yeah, like using more natural lights like diyas instead of having
Mm.
like multiple sources of light. There are also low lights, like lights which have a lower
Yes.
frequency.
You know
So
those
I think,
yellow lights, low voltage, that works.
yeah, exactly. Or the light which is more towards red color. These are
Mm-mm.
more supportive for sleep. I know people
Yes.
who are extreme and might not work for everybody, but we can see how we can improve these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember generally at our home, like when we were children, my dad used to put on this red bulb, boring red bulb. At that time it was boring, now it makes sense. And it was a normal thing. Everybody in their house, in my area where I was living, they will have this boring bulb, red or blue color bulb. So either of it will be on by the night. And you know, we used to have like very calming and slow music. We are not doing like a conscious therapy, but generally like a way of life.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, people don't even know what they're doing, but they're doing it. It's amazing.
Exactly. Some people you just get it. I was saying something. Okay, so coming back on the podcast where we stop. See, anything that is very mind engaging, okay,
Mhm.
you will be super alert. I know people love watching these documentaries or these series on the Netflix or wherever it is. Now, let's say you're watching a very interesting series and you've been watching it for 10 days. Now you decided to watch today at night. Of course, your mind will be so active because you know this whole thread of series. You want to know what's going on right now. You want to anticipate what will happen later. So, in the super active brain, there is the place for melatonin and sleep. So I would say
Yeah.
anything which is mentally very engaging, just drop that thing down. I'm not saying by the time it's 8, you just switch off the lights, you put down everything. It's not practical for most of us. I don't do that. Why should I advise? Yeah, the thing I would say, anything which is super mind engaging. These series, I'm telling you, or maybe some books for some people, some fiction or something that stimulates your brain activity. Don't do that. It will really help you immensely. And take shower before sleeping. It really helps.
Yeah, actually, I was so surprised that if it's a lukewarm or colder shower, it might take you a little bit more time to fall asleep, but you sleep much deeper.
Exactly. Because your body is so light, it just feels clean. Or some people know at times they have this problem. I don't know if you know about it. Restlessness of the legs. Leg will be so restless, your body will be restless. There's a super easy, simple thing. You know, this Epsom salt, it comes in this, you can buy from any website. It comes in this big bag. If you have tub, just put some Epsom salt, lie down. It has magnesium, it will relax your muscles. Soak your
Right?
feet, or that is also one tip. Soak your feet, or after shower, just put it on the wet skin for 5 minutes and then wash it off. It will give you good amount of sleep and good amount of magnesium also in the body. So,
Yeah,
so relaxing
exactly.
at night.
The magnesium, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
My wife always I introduced her to it and she uses it when she has a headache or when she has cramps. It's magnesium is a
it
very
works.
powerful.
Yes, it. Mhm. Or if you want natural sources of it, banana is great. Fruits and vegetables and fruits are always nice. Banana has one of the most highest amount, or the pumpkin seeds are amazing. I would say, but if you do have a persistent issue, might as well you want to pick up the Epsom salt and eventually change your diet. Also, it will help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I generally tend to use more natural supplements than
Mm-hmm.
the pill
Artificial
supplements.
ones.
Yeah, because I don't know how much the body can absorb of it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long the whatever it is inside the capsules, I'm not sure how long it's actually going to be active and how long it's going to be my body is going to be able to absorb it. So I prefer putting it in my diet and then maybe extra supplements, but not rely only on supplements.
Absolutely. Our body loves natural food. Supplements are great. Initially, supplements were only for athletes because they have high requirement for the body. Now, supplements have made their way for the normal people because we are suffering from so many deficiency. Example, vitamin D. Now, I do have some patients, they're like, no, but I'm all day out in the sun. Like, how am I deficient in vitamin D? And let me tell you guys, so the minimum range for vitamin D is 30, but you will not strive at 30. You need minimum 50 to 60. You need that much vitamin D. You will see a lot of hair fall, you will see a lot of back pain, low energy, problem with the cholesterol, hormones, everything will go haywire in the body. So let's say you are on supplements, or let's say, forget about supplements. Let's say you are going in the sun, but you still are low in vitamin D. Now the problem is that the vitamin D or the sun rays, once they hit your skin, it goes inside, but it's an inactive form. Okay, your liver makes it active. So if you're somebody who's high in blood sugar, if you had gut problem or you have a fatty liver problem, you will have deficiencies basically. So no matter how much you're going out in the sun, still you will be deficient.
Yeah,
So
and
if you do have
calcium, right? Calcium also
calcium
needed to
also,
break, I think, if I'm
exactly.
not wrong, magnesium might also be there. And then there is K2, vitamin K2,
Yes.
which is also
Yes.
helping the vitamin D to move. So if you're just
Yes.
out in the sun, but you're not taking care of the other things, the vitamin D might not actually be utilized by your body.
Yes. That's what, let's say you are in the sun, you have a problem with these you are facing these deficiencies. First, are you getting enough source? If yes, but you still have deficiency, maybe you have a problem with calcium or K2, like you said, or liver problem. So we see as an individual person what is the in totality, what is the problem. Now, another tip I would love to give it, it's not about being vegan, dairy, blah blah, not those in terms. If you have calcium deficiency, if you have a vitamin D deficiency, best is unpasteurized raw milk. You want to make sure you get it from the best source. But there is, let's say, Steven, I want to increase my calcium level in the body. Let's say I want to increase my vitamin D level in the body. How much you know is enough for you? How do you cross this? You don't even know when you're crossing this thin line of being over. too much of vitamin D, too much of calcium, it will start doing calcification in the body. Your parathyroid, your arteries, and all of those stuff. Unless and until you don't have major deficiencies, or if you're not checking it with the blood sugar, best would be go for unpasteurized milk. That is the best. The combination of calcium and this vitamin D and your essential fat is so perfect. It is so nicely aligned. It will work the best. Nature has a lot of things in a perfect alignment. When you try to manage everything by yourself, that becomes a problem.
Yeah, I understand that Ayurveda is very much into milk and using milk, especially also for certain medicines. I think one thing that I
Yes.
would add upon this unpasteurized milk is if you really intend to use milk as a daily supplement or as a daily something that you want to take on a regular basis, I would say find a local farmer or a local person who has a
Yes.
cow, who takes care of the cow. Don't buy grocery milk because it's a mix of thousands, hundreds of thousands of cows put together. You have to think every milk, like every cow has its own hormones and you're drinking them. And if you have a bunch of cows
Yes.
mixed together, I don't know, I read a lot about milk. It depends also on your body. I've seen
Yes.
studies that say that for certain people, milk causes acidity, and then acidity in the body, you actually need calcium to balance that acidity out. And so
As
while you're drinking milk, which should help you with calcium, your body is increasing acidity, and then you need calcium to balance it out. So it's you have to see how it functions on your body. It's a very interesting topic. I There's a doctor called Dr. Greger. He wrote a book
I think
called
I've heard of it.
How Not to Die. So in there he recommends a plant-based diet, and the reason why he does not recommend milk to most people, again, not like maybe in these cases that I'm saying, where you have your own cow or maybe your neighbor has a cow and the source of this cow. In these cases, I would say yes, but otherwise, what I've heard from him, and this is just what I picked up, is that milk can also lead to hip fractures and bone fractures, and that there are quite some studies that show that the milk and the calcium in the milk is there, but the problem is that a lot of bodies react to milk in a way which is like I explained before, and so you're
Yeah,
losing
not
more
very.
calcium.
Steve, we
Yeah.
need to understand this thing, no? One thing is, let's understand a little bit from the basics, okay? Trust me on that, no food is bad. It depends upon the user. Like no technology is bad, it depends upon the user. Now there is something called as your oral tolerance, meaning what is your tolerance level? It depends upon your health, your genetics, if you're living out in nature, if you're indoor, if you exercise, if you don't exercise, generally how your health is. Generally, it's normal for human being to tolerate a lot of things. When you have your gut, it's very normal to tolerate a lot of things. Now, let's say your body is reacting against milk. So, in milk, you have lactase, you have casein, you have all of those things, proteins, enzymes, your body is reacting against all of those. Okay. Problem is not milk per se. I'm saying this general population. Okay, we are not getting into disease because I know in comment section people will bombard. Oh no, this that. I get it. I'm not saying a diseased person. We are talking about a normal person. Always remember, a medical advice and a non-medical advice is different. So right now we are talking about general health. Okay. So now let's say you drink milk. Maybe somebody who have a good tolerance level. In India we have this belt of Punjab and Haryana where it is a lot of milk-based things are there. They have really good tolerance for a lot of food. If you see that they're very tall, they're broad, they're quite sturdy in their structure. Now, somebody who shows so short, petite, poor genetics, you can't compare these two people. There's no comparison at all, right? So generally, let's say now people's body have started reacting to a lot of food. Number one thing, your gut tolerance has gone down. Okay. Why it has gone down? So let's picture this intestines, your small intestines, the zigzag intestines that you see. These are semi-porous. These are semi-permeable pipes in the body. I'm just saying pipes for common understanding. They're semi-permeable so that things we eat gets absorbed in the body. Now, problem is that most of the people they have issues with their stomach acid. Here comes the digestion part. You have a problem with the stomach acid, meaning what? Your body is not able to break down protein into amino acid. Now you have undigested protein from stomach passing towards your intestines. Now, problem in the intestines, I think most of us, if any time in your life you had food poisoning, any digestive issue, acidity, trust me on that, 99.9% you have leaky gut situation. What is leaky gut basically? So in these small intestines, these are so tight. These pipes are very tight. They are semi-permeable, meaning they're selectively permeable. There are villi, blah blah, whole science is there. Now the problem is you have a gap in these pipes. These are leaks. That's how the name comes, leaky gut. Now you have undigested protein coming towards your intestines. From these leaks, this protein made from milk, meat, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, whatever food it is. I'm concerned about the protein right now. So this protein will cross your intestines and it will come in contact with your immune system. So we know that 80 or 75 to 80% of the immune system is there in the gut. So you have your intestines, you have your immune system, then you have your blood. Nature wants to make sure nothing wrong comes in contact with the blood. It's beautiful design, right? So now your immune system will see protein red alert because your immune system doesn't recognize protein. It recognizes amino acid. So you tell me, problem is a protein or problem is low stomach acid and leaky gut? I think these two are a problem. Most probably, if you fix your stomach acid and if you fix your leaky gut condition, you would be actually able to tolerate eat most of the food. It's very
That's so
unnatural that
interesting.
we get.
You know why
Yes,
it's so
and
interesting? Because
imagine,
even the
yes,
studies that we have, like, who are they done with? Are these people having leaky gut? What kind of conditions do
yes.
these people have? It's just something that I read about milk and I wanted to bring it up because I think it's a very interesting topic. And I do believe that milk can be used for certain people and it depends upon how you grow up, the kind of environment, what kind of diet were you put on when you were a child. All these things matter.
Yes.
But there is an interesting fact also that I think almost 70% of human population is lactose intolerant because
Unhealthy. Lactose
no,
intolerance.
yeah,
So,
because human beings, that's an opinion, were not designed to drink milk from another species. And it only happened after they didn't had access to enough fruits and vegetables that they started to consume the milk of animals because everything else was not enough.
not enough. Like a good source of food, which is very similar to human, which can
Yeah,
easily be absorbed in the human system, I would
exactly.
say.
Like in the early days, you could imagine that people used to go for hunt and gathering, and so they would gather
Mhm.
fruits, they would gather certain nuts. Maybe even before they didn't even cook, so basically
They
only
were
fruits
eating
and
raw.
yeah,
Yes,
and
fruits,
then
raw meat, or
but yeah, meat exactly, but meat mostly once a week, maybe whenever they would
mhm,
hunt an animal,
and
and then also very small piece because they would share it with the whole tribe. But
correct.
that's maybe a topic for another podcast.
Yes.
But just very interesting what you were sharing. It also opens up my mind to not have conclusion about what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong.
Yeah,
Again, it depends on every individual,
it
and
depends.
yeah, I think yeah, it's
I
wonderful.
heard this. I heard this amazing example. It comes in contact with this. It will go in line what we talked about. So in Siddhas, they used to have this medicine which is made up of snake venom. I think 7 to 8 snake venom or nine. I think it's called as Navpashan. I think Sadhguru also mentioned this sometime on the video I watched.
What's the name?
So Navpashan.
Uh,
Navpashan. So now imagine how can you eat a medicine with a snake venom? It's so insane to think about it. But people in this era, when siddhas were so common in practice, they were consuming these kind of medicines. The difference is that, yeah, even now, are we not making so many medicines out of venom of so many venomous creatures? We are making medicines, no? Now the problem is that till the time this venom doesn't come in contact with your blood, it will act like a medicine. Of course, permutation, combination, everything is different. Also, remember everyone whosoever is watching, we are talking about a spectrum. What we are not talking about right now, how these medicines are made. Don't get stuck on snake venom only. No, we are talking about one of the ingredient or one of the major ingredient for snake venom. So till the time the snake venom is not coming in contact with the blood, it acts like a medicine. Of course, quantity matters, combination matters. Now, the moment snake venom comes in contact with the blood, it will start coagulating the blood. And this is how heart will get stopped, blah blah, whole thing, and the death will happen. Now, think about people in those era, earlier days of Ayurveda, yogis used to use this medicine so much to cleanse their body. So many things they used to do. Meaning that time leaky gut was not a problem. Everybody had good intact intestines, right?
Yeah.
Now even I'm not able to digest protein. Forget about snake venom and all those strong medicines. So it's different era only we are talking about. When we say no, this is bad, that is bad. No, we are dealing with lot of leaky gut issue. We are dealing with lot of gut and inflammation issue. That's why you keep putting food in good, bad category. It's food. There is no such thing. Quantity matters. Tell me, if you eat only fruits, will your not blood sugar go up? If all your life the only thing you eat is fruits, what my point is, there's nothing good or bad. It depends upon how much of what we need. And it depends upon our gut health. If you have leaky gut condition, you have food intolerance, everything will react to it. So initially, you will start eliminating. Let me remove milk. Let me remove this. Let me remove that. What are you left with if you're not treating your leaky gut? And over the time, if you don't eat variety of food, anyways, you become intolerant to the variety of the food. So this is like a double-edged sword. So we need to, coming back, I know a lot of people will bombard us in the comment section. How can you talk about this? I completely understand. Trust me, we can talk about a lot of things, but if your individual gut is not fixed, no amount of discussion and argument can help us. It's simple.
Yeah. It's so true. And that's why also supplements somewhere make sense nowadays.
It makes sense.
Especially
Yes, some
because
people need
number
it.
one, the soil, like the organic content of the soil
It's
is
so
very
depleted.
low. So
Yes.
yeah, like I think Sagur said that we need to eat 6 oranges. And 30
Yes.
years ago, I think it used to be one.
Yes.
So who is going to sit down and eat 8 oranges just to get enough vitamin C, for example?
But Sivan,
So
imagine, just I'm sorry to cut you, just to little bit add a
yeah,
portion to you what you're talking. So on one side, we are depleted in nutrition. On other side, we are overweight. This itself is saying the story, right? That we are consuming way
mm,
too much and still we are not healthy.
yes, very true. And then people are complaining about the soil, but they're not willing to invest into making their own soil, growing their own vegetables.
Yes, and basic things, even supporting organizations that is doing something for the environment. Why should I do it? Okay, it's nice to hear all these things in news, but as an individual citizen, have you ever even planted a tree? Or have you stopped making areas dirty? Have you done anything as an individual? It's so easy to talk about everything and give you strong opinions, right? Like this is the thing of social media, right? We have so many strong opinions, but tell me about your actions. What have you done about it? Is there anything you have done about it? It's so easy to hide behind a account and write all those strong comments about this strong aggressive behavior itself tells me there is no input. If you're one of those who have done so many things on the ground with real people, you will never have this kind of strong opinion. Just because you don't do it, the only juggle you can do or the only gymnastic you can do is with your words. So we can
You're
understand.
you're stuck in you're stuck in Tamas. You haven't reached
Yeah,
Rajas.
exactly. You need some Rajas man to move around, do some work.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wow. This has been such an insightful conversation. Very beautiful to talk to you. And there's so many things. This might have
We
been
discuss so many things.
the one of the best episodes. Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
sharing
because
all
you
your
are
wisdom.
you're taking the conversation that you're flowing it through. It's your curious questions.
Yes, it was wonderful. I'm so excited for the audience to hear this and yeah, let us know if you would like this episode and if you would want us to make another one. So yeah, to that, thank you so much, Sonam, for
Thank
your
you so
time,
much. Thank you for the invite.
and I hope that people find value in it.
I hope so. I hope you find value. I hope you find your individual health. The thing I always say, we are in this world of extra information, but always remember what you need as an individual. Let's not forget this point. We can have so many endless arguments and discussions, but unless and until you are not changing your individual health, there is no change. There's only a mental or the verbal gymnastics. That's about it.